concerned, because you cannot be expecting players that have left other professions and are concentrating just on football, and you don't pay their salary. The big question of the day is Isolab Home Sports Academy, with all the issues plaguing the team, going to pick up the 3 points against Leopard tomorrow on Wednesday? A very big question that only the team and its management is going to answer. But nevertheless, team player salaries should be a priority and should be, why not, handled with care. And that is it for Isolab Home Sports Academy. We pray that the management gets to, why not, rectify some of these issues that are plaguing the team in terms of salary issues, managerial problems as well. That is also that is affecting the mental health of these players. And equally, instead of dividing the players, why not create a canopy that is going to, why not, build back the unity and confidence that these players had from the beginning of the championship. And yes, that is it in terms of Isolab Home Sports Academy saga that is actually happening. We'll go straight away to look at the fixtures of the MTN Elite 2 Championship after this particular one break that was in preparation of the Cameroon Ballon d'Or. Well, tomorrow, Wednesday, the 20th of December 2023, we'll look at fixtures 1 at the Bafang Stadium at exactly 3 o'clock. It is going to be UNESCO of Huncom that is going to welcome Tonnerre Calabar Club, and equally at the Bamesi Stadium, same time, it is going to be Rasenga Bafusam that is going to clash with Renaissance of Gbamu, while the University Stadium in Bambili, undefeated and unbeaten, Bafma United is going to lock horns with Aigle of Mongo at exactly 3 o'clock. And meanwhile, at the Olympia Next One Stadium at 1:30 prompt, it is going to be Yafu that is going to welcome the Northwest Side Frontier Street of Bamenda. Meanwhile, Pool B is going to see Panther Finde clash against Indikula FC of Bandung at 3 o'clock. Meanwhile, at the Centenary Stadium, it is going to be Isolab Home Sports Academy that is going to play against Leopard Sportive of Douala, and that game is going to be played at 3 o'clock prompt. Meanwhile, at the University Stadium over there in Bambili, Rain Giants of Bafut against RS Fab of Yaoundé, 1:30 prompt, and the last game of the Wednesday is going to be at the Olympia Next B Stadium at this spot against Dragons. And that is it for the MTN Elite 2 Championship for the next fixtures of game that is coming up tomorrow, Wednesday. And meanwhile, for the MTN Elite 1 Championship coming up Friday, 22nd of December 2023, it is going to be at the Buda, where it's going to be PWJ Bamenda that is going to welcome Column Sportive of Jalobo, and this game is going to take place at 1:30 prompt. Pool B is going to see Stade Renard of the Melon that is going to welcome the Southwest Side Victoria United at 3:30. Meanwhile, Saturday 23rd December 2023, it is going to be in Bafusam Aigle Royal of the Menwa that is going to lock hands with Dinamo of Douala, while an Mbunda Stadium is going to be Bambutu Sambuda against Union Sportive of Douala. The Bepanda Stadium, Lesatro of Douala, is going to welcome RS Fortuna at 3:30 prompt. Meanwhile, at the Guakele Stadium at 3 o'clock, Canon Sportive of Yaoundé over Gazelle of Garoua. Pool B C's at the Bepanda Stadium at Young Academy is going to welcome Young Sports Academy. Meanwhile, the Catanite of Galwa is going to play against Fuvul Azu at the Rumdaja Stadium over there in the northern region. And equally at the Bafusam Toket, it is going to be Fufu Club of Bam against UMS of Lum. Meanwhile, match day 12 of the MTN Elite 1 Championship, since Apisha Safifu is going to be exempted for match day 11 of the MTN Elite 1 Championship. Yes, we talk about Champions League in terms of the rounds of 16. We look at the Europa League and other fixtures that are why not transpiring this particular championship, where we are going to be looking at the rounds of 16 of this particular Champions League, what is going to be Juventus Football Club against Tottenham, FC Basel against Manchester City, FC Porto Liverpool, Sevilla FC against Manchester United, Real Madrid Paris Saint-Germain, and FC Donetsk against AS Roma, Chelsea the Blues against FC Barcelona, while FC Bayern Munich against Benfica, and that is it. We equally have at the rounds of 16. Let's go straight away to the Europa Leagues, and that is it in terms of the Europa League knockout round playoff. That is the fixtures for this particular Europa League. For those that are actually following up this particular Europa League that has been going on through the start of the season, where we equally in terms of the Champions League, it is Clusters against FC Schalke, Celtic over Juventus, Arsenal over MC Bayern, Shakhtar over Borussia Dortmund, AC Milan over FC Barcelona, Real Madrid over Manchester United, Valencia over Paris Saint-Germain, and FC Porto over Malaga. And that is it in terms of the Champions League, the various fixtures for these particular rounds that are drawing closer. And it is with these particular fixtures, after the Ballon d'Or, after the Hampton League One, after the saga that is happening in Isolov Sports Academy in terms of managerials and the plight of players. And yes, Sonny Tangoni is says that this is where I get to say bye-bye in terms of sports update this morning. Over to you, Ravita Mafani, once more. Why are you enjoying me like that? Thank you very much for giving me the mic.
You are welcome, and thank you for bringing us the updates and for also lashing. One thing with journalists, presenters, is that they say we are talk people. They call us talk, and they say we talk, and we even talk the one that does not concern us, and even the one that concern us, and even the one that could concern us in future.
Wow,
it's long. Even the one that will affect even our children's children.
Wow.
We'll say it today. I'm just talking about that of ISO.
Definitely, it's a very bad scenario, because imagine since the start of the season, players cannot boost off, saying that this is my first salary, and you say you are playing football. It's a very bad scenario, because this is one of the issues that President Samuel Eto'o has been struggling to solve. Yes, and I think that we have players in some teams that can boast of saying that no, they can, why not pay electricity bill. And these are pertinent issues that during High Sport last week Wednesday we touched. And this is happening for our southwest side. We cannot say we won't talk about it. We have to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, then you're not helping these players that are giving in their best to play. Imagine your child going to school and telling you that I don't want to play, I don't want to go to school, I just want to concentrate on football. And at the end of the month, the child cannot post up 5,000 francs to say, Mama, take and pay your hospital bills. It's a bad thing, especially when we know how there is much money in football now. So I think that the management of Isolov Sports Academy should do all it takes before the situation gets out of hand, because the season has started. What if you call for the recent game and players don't show up?
True.
They give the 3 points to your opponent. I think this is not what Isolov Sports Academy wants to get into, especially when they are in a tight corner where they are struggling to qualify for the playoffs to maintain their stand in the M10 championship. So the management of Isolov Sports Academy should do all it takes to get things right before tomorrow against Leopard.
And yes, I said, things that concern us, and even the one that don't. But this one directly, and that is it. So, Sonita, we are moving straight away onto our topic of discussion this morning, and which says, what do you think about spouses being represented on their wedding day? Let me ask you directly. Can you allow your husband to be represented on your wedding day?
Wait, which wedding? Yes.
Where, Sonita? Let's just say
tradition and court tradition.
Wedding, like not
us.
Okay.
Hi. It's my family. So for me now, I'll wait for you to come. Yes, because I've seen several weddings. You see some putting pictures, and the lady is there. There's a picture beside you. There is that feeling that as a bride, though I've never been a bride, you want to feel, you want to have the comfort of your husband, you want to feel him, that smile. And you know that this thing of representation is mostly long distance relationship.
Yes, long
now
distance.
Imagine that for how many years people have been dating long distance,
and you have not seen the person on wedding day too, the same thing.
I'm telling you, so that precious day that you think that is the most important day of your life, you expect to see your husband beside you, and you're looking at a picture, or you're seeing his brother beside you,
and you're missing him,
and you're missing.
People are doing video call. I wish you were here.
Definitely. So I am not in support of that. I don't think I can do it. Even
but what if that's the only way? Probably.
It can never be the only way. It can never be. Don't say that. It can never be the only way.
So you does not even want me to even learn.
No, it can never be the only way because, for instance, if you're out of the country, yes, let's say you use the normal Mexico road that many persons use. My dear, instead of us to do that wedding with you being represented, let me come and meet you. I will do it over there in the US. So that's the only way. That's what I'm telling you, that can never be the only solution. But now, yes, we find a lot of girls that have done that. But the truth,
even the guys too.
Yeah, even the guys too have done that. Though it's rare. To be told, it's rare
for the guys,
because majority of the times the women that are there, but the men are always represented. For those who have done it, they will tell you that there's something that is missing, or there was something that was missing during that.
I can imagine it's one day, like it's a special day for you, now, and you can't even have that moment.
They're supposed to be giving you palm wine, but they give you water. For weddings that are represented, they give you water.
They give water.
Yes, they give you water in the cup, or some will cover the cup empty. So you go, you don't give it to the person representing your husband. You pour it down. You understand? Yeah, some pour it down, while some others give you an empty cup. You just go, you kneel down in front of the man's representative, and you give it to him, and he puts money. But now we are failing to understand that, especially tradition.
There are things
it is
that
a ritual.
Go on,
yeah. So I don't think that. In fact, so I cannot even accept it. My future husband, wherever you are,
future hubby,
well. Please,
future hubby, they are talking to you,
sweetheart. I will meet you, or you will meet me.
Okay,
we will wait.
Let it not be that future hubby is watching. This one that you have first of all call honey. Come on, ask sweetheart.
No, I'm just saying.
Hey, Sonita, I'm suspecting you this morning. No. I'm suspecting you. You have called honey. You do not end there. Come and ask sweetheart.
No, I'm just
very soon you ask sweetheart.
Okay, sugar boss.
Oh, hey, you have bats. Viewers all over the world.
Watch your screen. And that is it for what I can say.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes as a woman, when you are growing older and that opportunity comes, you don't think about all that.
Yeah.
You just want to be called Madam this, Madam that. And you find them sitting into those shoes and your husband.
What can we say? I always say never say never.
Yeah, that is
never say never. But you see, I was telling our viewers here that I MC weddings, so sometimes I see the emotions that.
Definitely.
I mean, I remember there was this one that I told the couple to step down from their seats and then have a moment with each other. I just told them, look into each other's eyes.
Bafani,
see,
yes, it's me. I will MC your wedding.
See, you needed to see how I told this couple to go and sit down. They did not go. As they were holding themselves, that's how they stood there.
Love.
And the guests we just stood, we're like, okay, when people are ready to go and sit down, it's only the both of them that know what was going on there. I was like, then is this moment that you go and be somebody who come and sit beside? I'll crack you.
Oh, a picture. What
is that?
A picture that is looking at and smiling.
What is that? But anyways, like the saying goes,
and
never say never.
This is the time to see.
This is the time. Yes. This is the moment. Thank you so much for contributing.
You are welcome, and thank you for having me as always.
Always amazing to have you bring us sports updates and to contribute to our topic of discussion. Right about now, viewers, as you all know, it is infotainment, entertainment, and yes, we still have some more information. And yes, talking about information this time around, we'll be perusing the corridors of what you're going to find out just right after this musical break.
Christmas, I beg make you do me well, oh. Christmas, I beg make you do me well, oh. Myself I want for buy new clothes and shoes, oh. Myself I want for chop, fufu and soup, oh. Christmas, Christmas. Make you don't forget we, oh, I did beg you for the Christmas, oh. Make you don't forget we, oh, I did beg you for the Christmas, oh, Christmas. Christmas.
yes, as you all know, it is infotainment, entertainment. In fact, you can't afford to miss just a little bit. In fact, no part of the show that you can afford to miss, because there's a lot that we are going to be dishing out to you. And yes, like I told you before we went into this musical break, that we are going to be talking information, but this time around, information is what concerns the newspapers. And we have the amazing Larry Tengeneng in the building. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning to you, my funny Rita Mujoko. Good morning to all of you. Good morning to everyone.
How are you doing this morning?
Well, it's a brown new day and the sun is up. We are kicking.
Yeah, the sun is up, the weather is good, which means that even the weather, the climate is telling us to move ahead with what we have in store for us today. So what is happening in the newspapers?
In the world of the print sector in the country and beyond is the 25th convocation of the University of Buea that begins today and tomorrow. We equally have this one from the French embassy in Cameroon, who revoked some 25 visas to France. We equally have some papers asking for the resignation of the Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Elundu Isumba. Not forgetting this other one from Cameroon Tribune that talks of the reconstruction of the southwest and northwest regions, as the sum of 21 billion CFA francs have been added for this engagement of President Paul Biya for the reconstruction fees of the northwest, southwest regions. Those are what we'll be talking on after this.
All right, you have.
Hello there, viewers of High Television. You are welcome to a brand new edition of the program and the slot, the paper review on Gbamu. We'll start off right off with the Chariot. The Chariot newspaper, the publication from the University of Buea, says 25th convocation ceremony will be sent out. Over 5,000 job seekers and creators today. Get to read that story and that said paper. Just to reiterate, that will be taking place today and tomorrow. University of Buea printing press goes operational, and in that said paper it talks of 6-in-1 Eyasu Brown Southwest unique. And we'll wrap up with this one from the said paper. Meet UB's best graduating student. Who is he? Get a copy of the Chariot newspaper and read details on him on page 3. Crossing over to the next publication for today, that is Quotidien Emergence. It talks of battle to control the PCRON party headed by Cabral Libre. It says Robert Conan attack Cabral Libre contra attack. You can find more on that paper following his claims that he is the founding father, but Cabral Libre is asking where is the text that provides for the paid founder of PCRON, that's the founding father. You can find more intricacies on how his press conference of yesterday went in Yaoundé on page 3. Freedom of the press, the paper report on Cameroon loses 20 places when it comes to press freedom in the world, according to Reporters Without Borders. And we take you to this sad road accident in Marwa, where some 8 persons have died as a result of this ghastly road accident that occurred recently. Le Japol of Karot Tambal for today says Honorable Mafu David, who comes with this 300 assistants to some graduating students in order for them to have seat capitals. And we take you now to the Heritage Festival. It talks of the inauguration of this Museum of the People of Sawa. You can find more on that said paper of Karot Tamba for today. Mutation newspaper for today talks of corruption in Cameroon. It says the review of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. You can get to read that paper on Therese Diaga's paper on Mutation for today. Reconstruction of the Northwest and Southwest regions. It says the Islamic Development Bank pumps in 21 billion for the reconstruction of the Southwest and Northwest regions of the country. We'll cross over to Cameroon Echoes from Kumba, the paper of Diba William Etue. It says Palm Plantation 60th ordinary session, Both Hills Management for reviving company, regular payment of staff salaries. You can find more on how the Palm Plantation 60th ordinary session went there. And Thanksgiving service in Glimbe. It says it talks of kitchen social group donate foodstuffs cash prize to some children of deceased members. Landmark Metropolitan University graduates 200 for job market and matriculate 715. We'll move away from that publication to next door Nigeria with the nation. The nation talks of Fubara Wike strike deal after President Tinubu met the two warring section at the Asorok presidential villa in Abuja yesterday. For this peace broker, Catholic Church okays blessing of same-sex couple. This one follows the outing of the Pope of Francis yesterday in the Vatican, who says it's okay for the Catholic Church to bless homosexuals. Get to read that story on that set paper for today. Nigeria Independent Election Commission, known as INEC, fixes by-elections into Senate, House and others for the month of February 2024. Away from that, we take you back to Cameroon with the Cameroon Tribune. It talks of the reconstruction of the southwest and northwest region. It says the 21 billion CFA francs that was given by the Islamic Development Bank yesterday. And African Cup of Nations 2023 says a trophy tours Cameroon, and we'll take you to this other story on climate change and what are some of the disposals put in place after Cameroon participated in the recent COP meeting in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. We'll move over to this other publication. Eco Outlook for today talks of sustainable development drive. It says youth empowerment promotion boost fish farming in Kupe Maninguba. Get to read that story on from the southwest region for this morning. Crossing over to this other stock, the talks of legal matters, crime suspect and legality of media parades. Get to read that story in a set paper. Building capacity for local regional civil society in key driving climate solutions, according to Samuel Ndobi, who is an independent consultant when it comes to climate action change. Crossing over to Le Messager for today, talks of the fight against malaria. The paper report on the therapy of the mayor. Get to read more on that paper of Le Messager of Lake Piyoshinjawe for today. Corruption or frauds. The paper report on 60 billion CFA francs that was lost to a new as a result of corruption, according to that paper on page 4. We take you now to the Cameroon Union of Employers, GCAM. It says what will change after the measure with GCAM and ICAM to create GCAM. That is what you can find on that paper of Late Piyoshinjawe for this morning. We'll move over to Buea to talk on the post. The post for today says Justice Minister launches bar exam after 9-year deadlock. Get to read that story on that said paper for today. A new strengthened distribution network to ensure reliable energy supply. And in that said paper, the paper reports on saving gas to Cameroon. It says Cameroonian launch campaign platform to defend companies' extension and livelihoods. Away from the Post newspaper, we take a dive over to Innovation. Innovation celebrates the mayor of Idina Council, that is Gabriel Tunde Elifanje, as the paper gives his intake or his take on 2023 in retrospect as concerned Idina Council. The paper reports on a new course on the government to pay her debts worth to the tune of 234 billion CFA francs of government unpaid bills that she is owing the British company in new. And we'll move away from that to Lujou. Lujou for today talks of the formation. It says the new ambassador of France to Cameroon revoked some 25 visas, and we take you to this one from Mayo Zava in the northern region. It says two militants of the Boko Haram insurgency killed. And we wrap up with Cote d'Ivoire 2023 on Lujou newspaper on page 3, how the trophy or the African Cup of Nations trophy was being presented to Cameroon. And let's take a bow out of the studio with the last paper for this morning, that is Terre Promis Hebdo for this day. It says Francis Ngannou, the man of the year. That is what you can find on Terre Promis Hebdo newspaper for this morning. With Terre Promis Hebdo newspaper, viewers of High Television and Gbamu, this is where we'll put a wrap on this segment of the paper review. Back to Rita Mafani Mochoko, who will be concluding the program.
Thank you very much for always bringing us the updates as far as the program is concerned. It's amazing to know what's happening in the country with the newspapers. Now we move over to our topic of discussion this morning, Larry.
Okay.
So let's say, paraventure, you travel abroad.
Which are we traveling?
Okay, so it's not even paraventure. So you travel next year, and but that woman that you love so much that you want to marry is in Cameroon, and probably you don't have the ability, or you don't have the permission to come back home because probably your contract is still on, and probably those that have your contract have not given you the permission to do so. So will you allow that someone to represent you on your wedding day?
For starters, I don't do distant relations. Yeah. So
I
even,
like the way you started.
yeah, for starters, I
Okay.
don't do distant relations.
All right.
So because distant relationships are quite peculiar,
Okay.
and it has a lot of lapses. I prefer seeing someone every day. Yeah, being in China, being in
Yeah.
US, being in Europe, being in
Eki-
in the Middle
Ekiliwindi.
East, whatsoever. Yes, but let's be seen. I know, okay, I can take a drive to her place, as simple as that. But this kind of distant stuff, it's quite a different ball game. Yeah,
Really
so I
a
don't
different ball
I,
game.
I don't believe in that, and I don't practice that. That's why when I get into a relationship, I get into a relationship with someone who I can easily have access to. Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
You can just say, come over.
Come over forward. Such a pervert.
I didn't say much.
Actually,
I just say it'll be easier for you to say, come over.
you are such a pervert.
The person that come over to wash dresses now. Have I said anything, viewers?
In the strictly, you
Where?
know,
Can you not say come over, help me and cool?
No.
You see, you're trying to tell me now what I'm thinking.
No.
Larry.
You are such a pervert. In a strictly Christian relationship manner. Yeah, you don't know my house. I don't know your house. You
In this 21st century,
of course, it happens.
Is their house a shrine?
No, I'm telling you, my darling.
What is that?
It's still practice from where I come from, the full gospel. So
Okay.
yeah, you stay in your house. The person stay in his own house. Whatever thing you wants to discuss, you go to church and. meet
So,
the
Larry,
pastor.
what you're trying to tell me this
please,
morning?
Mojoko, I have the floor. Whatever thing you want to discuss, you go in front of the pastor or the elder. You discuss it, and
Whatever thing you want to discuss.
yeah, if at all this is a person you want to settle down with, yeah, you say, okay, I think I like this person and I wish to settle down with this person. You first of all talk to the person, you go to the pastor.
You go to the pastor.
Yes, that is
So if you see a girl that you like now, Larry, you will leave the girl on the road and go to your pastor.
of course,
You remain eleso.
anyways, you'll be shocked that very soon I will be saying Pale encore.
Hey, Hotso! Hey,
High
Hi
five.
TV, Hi TV. Will contribute money. So is it green? Is it going to be green or blue? What are the colors? Just tell us now.
When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
We'll get to that bridge.
We'll cross it.
But this process of you going to tell your pastor first before coming to
Of
the
course,
gate, it will
that
not be
is
easy
how
for
my
you.
no, it's not for this. Now this is my church.
Be following your church. Wonderful. So you say a girl that you like, you go to your pastor.
Rita is called biblical hierarchy.
Biblical
Biblical.
vagabondization. What am I even saying? I don't even know what I'm saying.
In fact, I need to report
what
you
is
to the apostolic
biblicalism?
pastor.
What is biblically in there?
I need to report you to the
You will
apostolic
not go
pastor.
and meet her, say, baby, you look like you say it's your mother selling okra because you just draw my attention.
I hope you are not into my time. Please, this is a program.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing time in your company, but Larry, see you soon. Let me take on this comment. And this person says, good morning to you, Rita, and to everyone in the house. This topic is beautiful. Well, for me, I think that it's not the best because people involved need to be there and receive the blessings showered on them, and as well as listen to the advice their parents will give to them. A wedding is a day's thing, but a marriage is forever, and that day spouses should try to be there in person rather than sending representatives so they can observe the day together and get the blessings together. Though people say distance is not a barrier when it comes to marriage, it's something else, and the two people involved should be there to experience it together. Yes, people should be there to experience it together. Imagine me on my wedding day. I want to hold my husband. I have to tinkle him, and then I beg, ladies and gentlemen, let's not. Let me know. I'm already. My studio clock is already telling me Rita, you have to get out of the studio. Thank you so much, Mata Namondo, and it is Mata Namondo contributing. Moliko, thank you so much, Mata, for contributing to our topic of discussion this morning. And yes,